All right, keeping it pushing, everybody. It is Tuesday, so you know what that means. Our injury insider, Dr. Jeff Pierce, courtesy of the Michigan Sports and Spine Center, MRI of Southfield, joins us. And Doc, appreciate the time as always. I know you're going viral around all the socials right now.
Yeah,
I thought that we had the exclusivity with you, but we'll talk about that off air.
All right.
Don't want to put you on the spot.
I'm loyal.
I was telling the guys, and I told this story earlier. Just kind of backing up what you said on Ermanni and Edwards yesterday. I was around some of the Pistons medical team on Sunday night, and they were kind of passing the phone around, looking at the Hutchinson situation. And they walked away encouraged for all the reasons that you said, clean break, as long as there's no nerve damage. I did want to ask you about this, and this is kind of putting you on the spot because I didn't bring it up to you. One of the things that they were most encouraged about was the fact that it didn't break the skin. Like the bone breaking didn't protrude out of the skin and stuff like that. They said that was a big deal. Why is that?
That is a big deal. So it wasn't a compound or where it removes from the skin, because now you're dealing with a lot of other stuff. You're dealing with infection. You're dealing with the skin break. You're dealing with a longer recovery, a bigger operation. I mean, if it's just the bone, the rods, the pins, the screws, all that stuff can stabilize that. And then there's more risk of tissue damage, right? Because that bone's piercing through the tissue, that's more recovery that you need to deal with. A simple break is kind of, like I've said before, do you want a fractured tibia or an ACL injury? You probably pick the fractured tibia, just in comparison of severity. An Achilles tendon, worse than what he has. The thing is, it was so violent that everybody got so excited. But they're right. I mean, you're talking to the professionals. That's how I looked at it. It's like, did it enter outside the skin? How much damage was done? There was a rumor initially it was tibia fibula, both bones, and then everybody said no, it was just a tibial repair, and then they clarified. I think one person just kind of misspoke, and everybody ran with it. Because to have that much movement of the bones and not have both of them break would have been very unusual. So right now, like they're saying, you wanted a quick injury. It was quick. It wasn't like, rolling in a motor vehicle accident or 5 guys rolled up on him. It was an odd experience. I mean, if you see it, how he kind of swung around, he was grabbing him and swung around and hit our player in the leg. It just kind of, like you hit the side of the wall. It was funny, like my son was trying to reenact it. It's like, how could this happen? It's like, think about hitting your foot up against a wall that the wall's not going to move and something's got to give.
Right.
So, and then...
That's what they called it, a lesson in physics.
Yeah, exactly. Hitting the right spot at the right time. The other thing is the way he's built from a physiological standpoint. He's so top heavy. He's large up above. From the knee down, it's probably, I don't want to say because he's huge, it's probably the weakest part of his body. So all that power and velocity that he's creating, all that momentum, and then hitting that wall, the other player, it's a freak accident. That could happen 9 more times and nothing. He gets up, rubs his leg, and runs off the field type of thing. So it's just, the anatomy of it.
No, I was just going to say, Doc, so what I'm hearing, and tell the people at home, is this the best case scenario coming out of what we're watching it and then where we're at a couple days later? Like this really is if it was going to happen, but you're making it sound like from the surgery and everything, the information coming out, that this is the best case scenario.
I believe, from what I know knowledge-wise, there is no nerve damage. There's no vascular shearing or tearing. We have shearing of vessels. Obviously, there's got to be some internal damage to it because you can't have all that momentum and fracture without some of that. But I think it's being kept to a minimal. Like I said yesterday, family insiders have said, the doctors said coming out, this is way better than we anticipated. I think what we're seeing is way better than anticipated. The type of person he is way better than anticipated. I know we're throwing a 6 to 8 month time frame, and that's classic time frames. That's, traditional numbers. Hutchinson, like you mentioned, with the coach, if someone's going to come back early, he's going to come back early. Can he push it so early? And I don't want to disappoint the viewers because I got them all excited because I said he's going to beat the 6 months. I still believe he's going to beat the 6 months.
But 6 months is April. you
6
know?
months, but people aren't thinking that way. They're
Yeah.
just saying, "Oh, that's great. It's faster than anticipated." But if you do the math, I think we're 118 days to Super Bowl, and the question is, what's best for him, right? So you guys want to ask me what's best for him is he's an unbelievable player. He's proven his ability. He's proven his skill set. I've always said sometimes an injury turns into a positive because they're more in tune, more dedicated, and more committed. Hutchinson didn't have those issues. I think the man was committed from the day he came out of the womb. He's just that kind of individual. His excitement, his energy. Is he going to lose a step? I don't think so. I think this is going to heal. There's going to be a clean fracture heal is what we're hearing. There's obviously the secret sauces that we're going to utilize on him, or they're going to utilize. Sorry, I'm not part of that treatment.
Yeah.
I welcome him to be part of the treatment. I think we do have a lot to offer, but he has a very skillful team that is going to take a look at every advancement. To push him for, all right, I'll let you ask questions. I'm not going to lead myself.
People do have a question. Tony D wants to know, why didn't Aleem break his shin?
Because one magnificent person against another, I think he hit he's got a little more bone structure. And the other thing is
He's thick. He's thicker.
he's made thick. That would be a good definition of him. But the other thing is that if you look at the physics of it, Hutchinson's flying through the air with no stability. His leg was on the ground as a stable force.
As a
right?
300-pound man, yeah.
So it's sitting like the wall, like I gave the example. The wall is stabilized. You're coming to swing into it. And it's just like...
You've all picked up a stick and hit a pole. That's exactly what it was.
Right.
Stick on pole. It's got to
Right.
break.
Well, MMA is classic for these kind of things.
People are talking about that as well.
Yeah, I mean, MMA, that's part of the... it's part of the win.
It's a strategy.
Right. It's sad, but the fibula is your weakest bone. The tibia falls close to it, especially in the lower part of your body. Anatomically, he's gonna be okay. He's gonna be okay. The question is now, I won't make that prediction for another 3 weeks, but I think the next 2 to 3 weeks on how quickly he goes from, walking to speed walking. I push very large. The aquatic therapy is going to be key to his recovery. Get him in the water, let him take some of that pressure off and get some of the normal mechanics. The quicker you can restore normal mechanics of the foot, the more encouraging it's going to be.
Talking with our injury insider, of course, it is Dr. Jeff Pierce. We hadn't had a chance to talk to him yet about this because he betrayed us and went on Ermanni and Edwards first. Wait a minute. Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry, Doc. I didn't mean to paint you in a bad light like that. You'll be on with them Thursday, though. Yeah.
I'll be with them on Thursday.
Absolutely.
I just felt it was good for the audience to understand.
No doubt. No, we appreciate you.
And I appreciate the people that have pushed the button, the like button, and all that. I'm not used to this social media. My team's a little excited that we are getting some noise from it, but I think it's an understanding of an unfortunate situation. And like Mac's saying, we're dealing with it. Now it's how do we maximize the recovery and things like that. I think we are in a position where we can say we do have probably the best scenario possible for a bad situation.
Not worried, which this comment runs counter to that. It says, I love Hutch, but coming back full throttle, I don't think he'll ever be the same. Sorry, and I'm thinking of him, obviously. I'm mad and sad about it.
Well, the one thing I say to that, not to jump in, but, I quoted Kobe. Kobe had a major injury. It made him more focused on rehab and recovery, and that I'm going to beat that. What Kobe had? Did he have an Achilles?
Achilles, yeah.
Achilles. Career. He came back. Was he as good?
No, I mean the Achilles is. I don't want to call it a death sentence, but it's a limiter.
He was later in his career too.
Right.
You're talking Hutchinson early in his career. Granted, and I challenge that chat person. Hutchinson's young, right? So Mac can contest this. Young hockey energy is great. is it the best thing for this when you're playing the sport? Sport-specific intelligence will outweigh speed and craziness, right?
He's 24. Yeah.
He's 24. He's got to learn a lot. He's got a lot of football intelligence to incorporate into his game that's going to make him a better player, an impact player that I think, will he win Defensive Man of the Year? I think with a chip on his shoulder, I'm not betting against him at all.
Woodward Sports chat thread, jump into that. BD3 says, Dr. Jeff Pierce making me think Hutch going to be back week 9, LOL. So, yeah.
I'm not confirming that.
You're not confirming that. Doc, as always, we appreciate your time and stepping through. And, you cheated on us a little bit with Ermanni and Edwards, but that's fine, Doc. Doc, I forgive you.
I'm there for the family.
I know you are.
I'm there for the family. I'm there for you guys. You guys can get one up on them on the next one.
All right, Doc.
But yeah, the recovery, everything else, and nothing else to talk about.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insight with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and Thursdays during Ermanni and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that I trust. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.